Hello there, I'm Jeanette, stampingwithsafiandme.com. I'm going to show you how to make the box for these beautiful cards. Now, if you saw my previous video, I showed you how to put these together. They're really simple. We're just using the Wood Texture Designer Series paper and a thick Whisper White cardstock, and that's all to make these really gorgeous contemporary cards. I think they're just absolutely stunning. So if you saw my previous video, if you haven't seen my previous video, go and see it, because I go through in quite some detail of how you put these together. What I am going to concentrate on is how I actually put this box together. It's a gorgeous box, obviously perfect for these cards, but perfect for any 4x4 cards. It's one of my favourites to actually make. I wanted to keep this one really simple. I didn't want any ribbon or anything, because I wanted to keep the contemporary look, and I think it's beautiful. And it's just a little magnetic closure that closes this up. I hope you agree. It's lovely. Plenty big enough. The overall size of it is about 4.5, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 4.5. It's 4.5 by 4.5. So plenty big enough. And you can get so much other things in here as well, to be honest. Loads of sweeties, goodies, anything. So good for other things apart from cards. But this is what we're going to put together today. It is really easy to do. And the bits and pieces that you're going to need, I'll just put those to one side for a second. You are going to need a whole piece of A4, and it's the UK measurement card. I use all of it. I've actually made, when I was making the cards earlier, I actually made the cats exactly the same way as I actually did the cards, but obviously without the circles and the scallop. We don't need that. And that will just go on. So I just made an extra one. You don't need to see me do that again, otherwise this video will be it's too long. The other bits that you will need is some matching DSP, and this measures, I will put the measurements on the block, but I know you'll want to know now. So this measures 4 3/8 by 2.5 inches, and they're both exactly the same. So let's just get on and make it. So let me just put those over there, grab my scoreboard, and we want to score. I hope you can see that. If I bring that down here, I hope you can see it. If I shout out my measurements, if you can't see it all, I do apologise. I can't actually see what I'm filming, but I think this, you should be able to see most of this. So you want to put your long side on first, and you want to score at 2 5/8. I'll do this slowly for you. A 3 5/8. Turn it round, and the same on this side. It just keeps it even. This is the way I do like to make my boxes if I can. 2 5/8 again, and 3 5/8. Now I want to score on the short side just 7/8. And we also want to score at 1 7/8. Turn around again, and the same again. So we want 7/8 of an inch and 1 7/8 of an inch. And that's our scoring done. So let me just move that out of the way. And now we just want to burnish all of these score lines. Love making these, actually. They're really easy to make. And as I said, just useful for all sorts of things. Give them a really good burnish. I'm using thick Whisper White for everything. It really is. It does make a really great box. Actually, it's. And I always use my. I always use this for card bases as well. Perfect. So it really does need a good burnish down. And get a fabulous strong box at the end of it. Right, okay, so what we want to do now is start doing some cutting. And we're actually going to get rid of all these four corners. Let's do that first of all. And when I'm cutting, I'm actually cutting, if you can see the knobbly bit, I'm actually cutting to the left-hand side of it. I just find it makes a neater box. So you want to cut, I could do with some longer scissors really, I could probably do that in one go. A little bit, I don't want to come off. There we go, right, so that's that one. That's the second one. That's the third one. Oops. There we go. And the next thing we need to do is cut all the way down here. I tend to do the same thing on all four sides. I think it's a lot easier if you can see what I'm doing that way rather than cutting it all off one side. It is in my mind. That. Nearly there. There's quite a bit of cutting to do on this. And now the other bits we need to cut off are these. Just that little bit there, and they're going to be our little flaps to actually make up the box. The way. This is the most time consuming bit about making this box, I think. So that is the shape that you're left with, and all we need to do is just wedge out our little tabs just so the box actually closes up really nicely. So I'm just going to take a little bit off each of these as well. Okay, so that's that done. The other thing we need to do is, using your envelope punch board, we need to round off some corners. And round off, just the finish of it looks so much nicer when these corners are rounded off. And I want to do these ones as well. Get that in there properly. There we go. Final one. We're getting there today, aren't we? I'll just trim that down a minute. There we go. Get rid of those bits. Where was it? There we go. So that is your template for your box. The next thing I'm actually going to do is put my DSP on. So bring those pieces that you've got ready cut, and you also want to round off a couple of the corners. So just that one and that one, just on one side, and then the same. It doesn't matter which side it is, as long as it's one side. And you just want to use, you can use fast fuse, Tombow, snail would work as well actually on this. I'm using Tombow. Oops. And then just line it up. And then let's just do the same on the other side. These sides, both these ends are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which is you choose which is going to be the top and which is going to be the bottom. Okay, and then what we want to do, now I use a mix of tear tape and Tombow for these little flaps. I just want such a perfect edge that I think this is the best way to put this together. So right up to there, right up to that score line, just pop a bit on that. Let's put a bit on this side. Okay, and then just use my bone folder. Paper pencil. And then any bits. It's picked up there, but it's fine, you're not going to see it. If you do get a little bit of sticky, just stick it over itself, it's fine, you don't need to cut it off. Last one. Okay, so that's the first one we did, and then all you need to do is line it up. That's that one. That's hidden in there. That's that one. Press down. Press down. And press down, and then just to make sure, just get your bone folder and just give them a press. Make sure they're all in place. Okay, and we're nearly there. So you can see how those just hide any of the, you can't actually see inside the box. I just think that's quite cute. So that's how you could glue them down if you wanted to make a bit more of a reinforced box, but I think that's great. It just keeps all your cards in. So the next thing we're going to do is pop our cat on. See, it's coming together really nicely now. You could put him on dimensionals if you want to. It'll probably look quite nice, but I'm just going to glue him. I'm going to glue him directly on there, I think. That's how I did the other one. So pop some glue on the top part. Obviously you don't want to put glue everywhere. If I bring the other one in, you can actually see that bottom bit, you don't need any glue on there. So make sure that you only put the glue on the top side. And just on this cat that stands out, you don't need to put it on the other one. Tombow is so strong, you don't need it anyway. So just a little bit on there. Make sure you've got some on his tail. And then I was fitting him to, well, I think that's about the centre. Just do it by eye. I think that looks good there. That's about right. Okay, so the only thing we've got left to do is to put our magnet closure on. Now, I will put a link on my blog. I think I got these from either eBay or Amazon. They're not Stampin' Up, but they're just tiny little magnets. I'll actually measure them for you so you know what size I've got. They're tiny, absolutely tiny. Where's my ruler? Oh, I have to measure in centimetres here. 7 millimeters, that's all they are in diameter, and you want to pull 2 off. And the best way of fixing these on, I'm just going to measure, just a quick measure, so I know I've got it around about in the middle. So I'm just going to put a little pencil mark, so I do want it to be in the middle, so it's about 5.5, so it needs to be around about there. Okay, and the way to fix these, really easy. You want to grab glue dots, paper piercer, keep your magnets together, keep them stuck together, put your glue dot in the middle, and then where your little pencil mark was, just about there, and give it a really good squeeze. And just to make sure you've got it aligned, the way to fix the other one, another glue dot, put it onto the back of that one, and what you need actually is something to just pop inside your box that you can actually squeeze down on. I've just got a punch here, that's about right, fits in there. But what we want to do to make sure it's properly aligned, that further in there, is before you squeeze it down, just make sure you've got it in the right place. And now, because you've got that punch in, just give it a really good squeeze down, and then it's fixed itself. And you know it's absolutely in the right place. Now, because these magnets are they're very, very, very strong, what I would recommend is using a scrap of your Whisper White. Let's grab a bit here. Scrap of that, and also a scrap of your DSP that you used. Punch a bit out. And you want another glue dot, even a few glue dots here. They are so strong, and this just takes away some of that strength. Otherwise, you might end up ripping your box, which you don't want. So if you pop that on there, like that. One more glue dot. And pop that over there. And there you have it. Perfect. Take those out of there. 4 cards and a box. Plenty of room in there for 4 envelopes as well to go inside. So I hope you like those projects. And if you'd like to purchase any of the products I've used today, I've listed them all over on my blog, stampinwithsafiandme.com. Just click the Shop Now button. If you do like my video, do like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any questions about anything that I've done today, making the box or even the cats, or I have put them together, do just send me an email, drop me a note. I'm always happy to help. And do let me know if you need any of the catalogues. I have both the annual catalogue and the seasonal catalogues. Thank you very much.